You feel it, don't you? That void clawing at your core, that ache you keep trying to shove down, hoping it'll go away, that's hunger. The only thing real in this rotting world. And you drown it out, don't you? Stuff your head with lies, cover it with excuses, wrap yourself in fake comfort, thinking that'll make it stop. But it won't. Comfort's not your savior, it's your enemy. Hunger, though? Hunger is your only truth. Look around, what do you see? Weakness. It's everywhere. Choking the air, dripping off every face you pass. You can smell it. The sour stench of people who've lost their bite, traded their edge for the mirage of safety. They're soft, every last one of them. But you, somewhere deep in that hollow shell, I know you're different. There's something in you buried under the weight of your fear, hidden beneath your doubt. Spark. A tiny flicker of what you used to be. But you're letting it fade, smothering it with the lies you tell yourself. For what? To feel safe? To blend into the pathetic herd, chasing a life of mediocrity? Makes me sick. Look at you, sitting there, wallowing in self-pity while that fire inside you screams. It's begging you to wake up, to stand up, to fight back. And what do? You silence it. Distract yourself. Cover it with excuses. You've let your mind chain you. You've caged yourself in, locked away your hunger, and you know it. Deep down, you feel it slipping away. Every second you sit still, every moment you hesitate, another piece of you dies. So here I am, delivering the truth whether you want it or not. You've grown soft, you were a beast once. You had that hunger in your eyes, a fire that could have burned the world down. But now you're just a shadow of the monster you could have been. You let the world break you, shape you into something tame, something weak. You traded your power for their approval, your hunger for their crumbs. And here's the secret no one's told you: hunger doesn't fade. It doesn't vanish. It waits. It lingers in the dark, waiting for you to wake up to remember what you were. Hunger is honest. It doesn't lie, doesn't pamper you. It's brutal, relentless, but it's real. And you've turned your back on it. Take a good look at yourself. Really look. What do you see? Fear, cowardice. You've become scared of pain, terrified of the grind. You want greatness without struggle, rewards without the blood, sweat, and sacrifice. That's not how it works. You don't sit back and wait for life to hand you something. You fight for it. Claw, scratch, tear your way through. That's what it takes. You have to let the hunger consume you, let it drive you like a wild animal. Without it, you're nothing. You think those people you chase after care about you, the ones you bend over backward for, trying to fit in? They don't. The moment you're no longer useful, you're gone. A pawn in their game, another name they'll forget. But when you embrace the hunger, when you unleash it, you become a force they can't ignore, a storm they can't control. And that terrifies them. That's why they want you docile. They want you comfortable. Because a man who's hungry, a man who's starving for more, he's unstoppable. He'll go places others fear. He'll do what others won't. He survives when the rest crumble. And you've got that potential, I can feel it. But you're too damn scared to let it loose. You think you're hungry? You don't even know what hunger is. Real hunger. It's not just in your belly, it's in your soul. It's the fire that keeps you up at night. The storm that drags you out of bed before dawn. It's the voice in your head that won't shut up, that keeps pushing, keeps screaming, keeps driving you forward when every part of you wants to quit. It's the force that breaks you down and builds you back stronger. The only thing that'll never leave you when the world gets dark. But you've ignored it. Buried it under laziness. Drowned it in fear. And where has that gotten you? Nowhere. You're stuck watching the world pass you by, sitting on the sidelines while others take what should have been yours. It's pathetic. You hear me? Pathetic. You've let them strip you of your hunger, your fire, your edge. For what? To be liked? To be accepted? You think that'll fill the void inside you? It won't. It never will. That ache, that emptiness gnawing at you. It's the hunger screaming to be fed. And it won't stop. Not until you wake up and remember who the hell you are. You weren't made to fit in. You weren't made to sit still. You're a predator, a force of nature. But you've been hiding, running from the pain, the grind, the fight. And it's killing you. So get up. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're satisfied. Feed the hunger. Let it drive you, push you, break you if it has to. Because it's the only thing that'll save you. You feel that ache inside? That gnawing, relentless hollowness. That's hunger, kid. It's the only thing in this broken world that's real. The only thing that won't betray you. But you smother it. You drown it in lies and comforts and excuses, hoping it'll just go away. But it won't. Hunger doesn't disappear, it grows. It thrives on your weakness, your hesitation. Comfort, that's your enemy. Not hunger. Look around you, what do you see? Softness. You can smell it in the air, on every face you pass. It's the stink of complacency. They've all let themselves rot, lulled into a false sense of safety, building their fragile walls of illusion. But you, I see it in you, you're different. There's a spark buried deep, almost too faint to notice, but it's still there. That fire, though, you're letting it die. Smothering it with every excuse, every distraction, every moment of hesitation. For what? So you can feel safe? So you can fit into their pathetic little world of mediocrity? You disgust me. You sit there, wallowing in your misery, ignoring the voice inside screaming for more. You're starving, and yet you refuse to feed that hunger. You bury it, drown it in comfort, silencing the only thing trying to save you. You've let yourself become a shadow of what you once were. Soft, tamed, and deep down you know it. You feel it in every bone, every step. You're wasting away, a little more with each second you waste, each challenge you dodge. And here's the truth, the ugly, unfiltered truth. You've gone soft. You had the fire once, the drive, that unrelenting hunger to take on the world. But now, you're just a hollow shell, too afraid to embrace the pain, the struggle, the fight. You traded it all for what? Their approval? Their acceptance? Their scraps? It's pathetic. But hunger doesn't forget. It's still there, waiting. It doesn't care about your fears or your excuses. Hunger is the one thing that'll always push you, force you to become more. And instead of embracing it, you've turned your back on it, betrayed it. Look at yourself. You're terrified of the pain, of the fight. You want it handed to you, served up without the effort, without the blood, sweat, and tears. But that's not how it works. Greatness doesn't come from comfort. It comes from clawing, fighting, grinding for every inch. It comes from letting that hunger consume you, letting it drive you to places you didn't even know you could reach. Without hunger, you're nothing. And don't kid yourself into thinking they care about you. Those people you bend over backward to please, the ones you try to impress, they'll throw you away the second you stop being useful. You're just a pawn in their game. But when you let hunger take control, you become unstoppable, a force of nature. You become the monster they can't tame, the storm they can't weather. That's what terrifies them, why they want you soft, compliant. Because a man with hunger in his eyes is dangerous. He's the one who outlasts, outsmarts, outworks everyone else. And you have that potential. I can feel it. But you're too scared to let it out. You think you're hungry? You don't even know what hunger is. Hunger isn't a growl in your stomach, it's a roar in your soul. It's what keeps you up at night, what drags you out of bed before the sun. It's that relentless fire that pushes you past your limits, breaks you, rebuilds you stronger. It's your only true ally. The only thing that won't leave you when the chips are down. But you've muted it, buried it under comfort, laziness, and fear. And look where that's gotten you trapped, watching others live the life that could have been yours. Every day you settle, every day you take the easy way out, you die a little more inside. Piece by piece you're fading, you're stuck on the sidelines while the ones who embrace their hunger dominate the field. It's disgusting. You've let them break you, strip away everything that made you sharp, made you dangerous. And why? So you could fit in? So you could sleep better at night, wrapped in their lies? Let me tell you something, safety. It's a lie. Safety is their leash, their way of keeping you docile. But there's no safety in this world. There's only hunger and the fight to survive. The moment you forget that, you're already dead. You need to remember who you are. You're not like them. You were made for more. Built for the struggle, the chaos, the darkness. But you've let their weakness infect you. Wake up. Hunger isn't your enemy, it's your salvation. Embrace it. Let it tear down every excuse, every fear, and rebuild you into the monster you're meant to be. Because when you let the hunger in, when you let it take over, you become unstoppable, uncontrollable. You become the nightmare they can't escape, the force they can't deny. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, your doubts. It rewards the ruthless, the hungry. So stop hiding. Stop running. Let the hunger drive you. Let it take over. And show the world what happens when a man stops holding back and unleashes his true power. Hunger is your truth. Hunger is your weapon. And it's time to wield it. You've got it in you buried deep. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it or pat you on the back. I'm here to drag that beast out of its cage, whether you want it or not. You've spent too long playing this game like you're one of them. Like you're made for comfort, for settling down. You're not. You've never been. You're built for something different, something raw, something untamed. You're not supposed to be content. You're not here to be satisfied. You're here to be starving. You're here to be relentless, because that's what it takes to carve your name into this world. And if you think for 1 second that life is going to hand you what you want, you're dreaming. Success doesn't fall into your lap. It's ripped from the hands of those too weak to hold on to it. You've got to be ready to fight, to claw, to take it by force. You've got to let the hunger take over, to let it push you forward when nothing else will. But you've been running from it your whole damn life. They've told you to fear it, haven't they? To keep it under control, to tame it. They've sold you this garbage about balance, about peace. Let me tell you something, balance is for the weak. Peace is a lie. This world isn't built for balance, it's built for chaos. The only thing that matters is hunger. That drive, that fire inside that never stops burning no matter how much they try to snuff it out. That hunger, it's the only thing that's real. The only thing that's going to make you stronger. And yet you've ignored it. You've buried it under layers of excuses and fears. Look at me. Look at where you are. I'm not here to coddle you, to tell you it's all going to work out. I'm here to tear down every illusion you've built around yourself, to strip you down to the bare essentials. And at your core, you're not weak. You're not soft. You're a predator. You're a force of nature. But you've forgotten that. You've let yourself get comfortable, let yourself go soft, and now you're afraid of the very thing that could save you. It's time to feed that hunger, to let it loose. Stop trying to chain it up. Stop trying to silence it. Let it guide you. Let it consume you. Because until you do, you'll stay stuck right where you are, watching the world pass you by, watching everyone else take what should have been yours. You're standing at the edge, looking into the void, and you're scared. I get it. The unknown is terrifying. But let me tell you this, that abyss you're so afraid of, that's where you belong. The darkness isn't your enemy, it's your origin. It's where your strength is born, where your fire gets its fuel. Stop running from it. Stop pretending to be something you're not. You're not one of them. You were never meant to be. You weren't built to blend in, to play it safe. You're built to rise above, to dominate, to take what's yours without hesitation. But that's not going to happen if you keep lying to yourself. You've let them fool you into thinking hunger is a curse, that it's something to be afraid of. But they're wrong. Hunger is a gift. It's the force that pushes you forward, even when every bone in your body tells you to quit. It's what sets you apart from the sheep around you, the ones who've traded their ambition for a false sense of security. You think they're happy? Look closer. Look into their eyes when they think no one's watching. You'll see the emptiness, the fear. They're starving, just like you. But they're too afraid to admit it. They're too scared to let their hunger take over. You, though you're different. At least you used to be. You had that fire once, that hunger to tear the world apart to get what you wanted. But now you're hiding. Hiding behind excuses, behind distractions. Letting the fire die out because you're too scared to face what it would take to feed it. Well, here's the truth. The only truth that matters, hunger is your only friend. It's the only thing that's never going to let you down, never going to leave you when things get hard. You can either let it guide you, let it fuel you, or you can keep silencing it and rot like the rest of them. It's your choice. But don't you dare complain about where you are if you choose to keep running from it. Don't you dare blame anyone else. If you're not willing to step into the darkness to let the hunger take over, then you don't deserve what you want. So make a choice. right now. Are you going to keep hiding, keep running, or are you going to let go? Step into the abyss. Embrace the hunger. Let it burn away every weakness, every doubt, and show the world what happens when a man stops holding back and becomes the predator he was always meant to be. Hunger isn't your enemy. It's your destiny.